Well, good morning. It is officially 2025. Here's my first video of the year. It is in the middle of January. My apologies, but thank you guys for being so patient as, oh my goodness, the shop is finally open. But as promised, I have an art haul for you today, and we'll do some swatching of some of the paints that I got today. So without any further delay, let's take a look at what I've got here. By the way, I don't do these art hauls hardly at all. I think this is my first one ever, so congratulations, you're watching the first one. First thing I picked up were a set of Winsor and Newton paints. I've never had them, so I'm really excited to try them. I bought them a while ago with some Christmas money, and I've had to hang on to them for a while I got the shop ready. I can't wait to try these out. So I've already taken some of them and put them in a pan, in half pans, so we'll take a look at that later. But it's a set of 48, and we'll check those out. I did get a couple of paint palettes here. I have this large palette that I got to put the Winsor and Newton paints in. And then I have another palette that I have for my next set of paints. So let's set these aside here, so you can actually see things, maybe, I don't know. I got a lot of Daniel Smith. I've not used them before. I keep hearing about them, so I want to try them out. So I have this set of greens, another set here, and some neutrals. Okay, I went a little overboard on paint. I really wanted to try both of these sets, and I just got a lot of gift cards this year. That's not typical, but I was really excited for this opportunity to try these out. I'm not sponsored by anything in this video, by the way. This is just me trying out some paints and some other art supplies. I also, after years and years of using really cheap brushes, like, I didn't know what I was missing. I got one set of Princeton brushes maybe a month or two ago. I had no idea what I was missing out on, so along with all of this, I also picked up some more brushes, so I'm excited to try these out as well. So yeah, and then the palettes, I'll show you the palettes really quick. I've already taken them out of the boxes. The large palette is one of these. I mean, I'm sure you've seen these around. I haven't had a large one ever. And I have a smaller palette. It's not set up yet. For my Daniel Smith, it comes with these magnets that you can use to put on the back. I've tried these magnets before, and they don't keep your paints connected to the tin. So if your expectation is, you know, you can have the magnets, I can speak, there, and, you know, it's in your travel case and they flip around and stuff, you're going to have a nice little puzzle when you open it up next, just so you know. Also, the glue that they have here for the magnets doesn't work very well. If you're going to use the magnets, I suggest getting some separate glue dots for them. I do have another one of these palettes that I have for my most used paints so far. I'm hoping to have some favorites here and add them. There we go. Okay, so you can see this is one that's already set up. I do have the magnets on there. It's nice, it keeps them pretty steady, but at least at the first time that they accidentally fell off my desk, the half pans were all over inside this tin. I was kind of surprised. and disappointed, and that was a nice little fun puzzle for me to have one evening. So now that my desk is a mess with all of these things, what we're going to do is take this all away. And I have printed out on some Arches paper a nice little swatch card here for my Winsor Newton paints. So with the magic of editing, we're going to switch over to doing this. All right, we are all set to try out the this Winsor and Newton paint set, watercolors. I'm just going to use my spray bottle here and re-wet them. I poured these, I think, 2 days ago. There we go, and we'll see how they do re-wetting. They haven't been sitting too long. There we go. All right, let's go ahead. Our first color here is permanent. Hopefully I say these correctly. Permanent alizarin crimson. Let's see what this looks like. Maybe I should have taped down this, but I'm going to be sliding it around just a little bit. Also testing out one of my new Princeton Neptune brushes here. That is really pretty. It'll be interesting trying these out. Since I normally use granulating watercolors. That is super pretty. Okay, and I'm already seeing, like it says on the package of these Princeton brushes that they hold a lot of water, and they're not lying. There's a lot on that page. I think what I am going to do is tape down the corners just so this thing doesn't completely run away all over the page. We can't get out of control here, can we? That wouldn't be helpful to you. All right. So the next one is Winsor Red. Oh, and by the way, I did put the light fast rating on the card. That's what the A's and double A's are. To my understanding, the double A is the most light fast. It won't fade. It's pretty permanent. A is really good permanence. B and down are not so great. They're going to be more fugitive, meaning that in the light, over time the pigment is going to fade. So that's a pretty big deal to myself. I'm starting out selling my artwork. I don't want them fading. Actually, it's not really true that I'm starting out. I'm just starting again. I did used to have a shop, not for very long, because right after I opened, the pandemic hit. So I know it was a great time for other creators excuse me, to start out and start their social media channels, and it's a good time for that. Goodness, excuse me. I was figuring out how to teach my students online at the time, and I couldn't do both. So I quickly had to shut down my shop and focus on how to stream my lessons for my students. All right, Winsor Red is all right. It's it's a red. I typically tend to go for more muted colors, but I have to admit I do use red a lot in my mixing. If you hear a truck outside, UPS is apparently bringing me something today. Or maybe my husband, I don't know. Actually, I think it's probably my husband. He said he has something coming from work. He works from home and they're sending him some more techie devices. I don't know. All right, next is Cadmium Free Red Deep. A little more on the orangey side. Also very pretty. I really like how pigmented these are. I tend not to like paints that are too transparent. I mean, there is a style for that. It's just not for me. That's beautiful. It's got a Scarlet Lake. I'm trying really hard not to mess up which paint is which. Like counting in my head. So far, like, these are lovely. I might get into painting with bright colors just because these are pretty great. Let's see. All right, next we have Light Red. Okay. I've actually been looking for a color like this that was a little more on the opaque side. With some of my other paints that are this color, they've been a little weak. It's been hard to get a lot of pigment. This might need to go with my most used palette. We'll see. I'm really happy with that one. All right, let's go for Winsor Orange Red shade. This is very orange. Reminds me of just diving into like a Crayola box and getting an orange crayon. It's very bright. I might actually switch brushes, like for this size of a swatch here. I feel like this brush is holding a little too much paint. It's a little harder to not really control, but that's going to take a long time to dry. Let's try another brush. I know I didn't go into too much detail on the things I got in my art haul. That is because I plan on going over them in some future videos. So if you are a Daniel Smith fan or are looking to maybe purchase those and you're wondering what they look like, I am recording that video next. We'll do a similar one to this one. And that will go in that other palette that I purchased. Okay, smaller size brush. Let's see how this goes. Cadmium Free Orange. Make sure I have the correct color. I'm getting to the point, because I've been collecting for like the last year, collecting these different watercolors. And I'm getting to the point where I have more paint that will fit in my like typical go-to grab palette. But that's okay, because I can make a pretty fantastic travel palette with the ones that I don't gravitate toward, at least not for the moment. That might change. That's pretty. That's really bright. All right, and the last one before we shift our paper here would be Winsor Yellow Deep. And so far, re-wetting these paints has not been an issue, which is great. That is a beautiful yellow color. I'm also using a brand new microphone. I'm testing my microphones. So hopefully the sound is a bit better. You might hear a little bit, I'm hearing it's like there's dogs outside, there's like a fan from my computer I need to fix. So if we're hearing all of those noises, I might need to adjust things. Or maybe you like the ambiance. You might hear, I think she's taking a nap right now. I have a parakeet right behind me that might start singing. All right, I'm gonna slide this over and do the rest of the row. Which means everything on my desk is moving. Here we go. And if you're wanting maybe a PDF or something of this, I am probably going to do a blog post on this. I'm going to see if I can potentially put a PDF as a free download if you want to look at these a little closer. Okay, so cadmium free yellow. Make sure I have the right one. It's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. All right. Oh, lovely. Now, this is the day to record these, it seems. I can hear my neighbors on the other side of the wall. I'm in a townhome. So my office shares a wall with our neighbors, and usually I don't hear a sound from them. And they're playing music in the room on the other side. Or maybe I'm just so focused on whatever I'm doing I don't notice them, but usually, it's really quiet. And this is just a Saturday to be out and about and making noise. All right, transparent yellow. It's actually a really, really pretty day outside. It's been overcast for a few days and it's really cold, but really sunny outside today. It's really pretty. I have a huge maple tree right outside my window, and the finches are outside playing in it. Wow. That's beautiful. Starting to see why people like this. All right, Naples yellow. And I am in California, and at the time of recording, Down in Southern California, it's just been on fire for the last, week to week and a half? It's been terrible. I'm toward the northern end of the state, so we're not on fire. Actually, there was a fire like a few blocks away from my house. No joke. Yesterday morning on my way to work. I think it was a homeless encampment that it had a fire and it got out of control. That's usually what it is. Nobody was in any danger that I know of. It was taken care of pretty quickly. Let's see. Cadmium free yellow pale. Okay. All of these are, I would say they're more like almost creamy than the other brands that I use, that I have been using for the last year, which have been mostly A Gallo, Schminke, and Deep Deep Light. I've enjoyed all three of them. And let's see, our last one for this row is Lemon Yellow. Got a little more paint there. That's really light. Very pretty. You might even have a hard time seeing that on the camera. I'm going to do my best editing, but it's a very light color. I wouldn't say it's like because of the transparency that you can't see it too well. It's just really light. Okay, let's go to our next row, which I'm excited because it's my favorite color. We're getting into the greens. The amount of green paint that I own now is maybe a bit shameful. I love greens though. Okay. Let's try olive green. That is very pretty. And I apologize if my voice sounds a bit gravelly today. It's Saturday morning, and I've been teaching for a week. That's usually what happens. Is Saturday is like my day for my voice to rest. Saturday and Sunday. I teach at an elementary school. I'll just say that. And I have about 300 students. I know that sounds like crazy talk, but oh gosh, that's beautiful. I'm excited. I'm excited about the greens. All right, let's try permanent sap green. Might need a little more water in the palette. What am I gonna do, guys? These are fantastic, and you know, it might be different actually working with them in a painting, but these are gorgeous. I say, what am I going to do? Because like I have all these paints to choose from that are amazing. I like this problem though. Not complaining. All right, let's try Hooker's Green. I will not need to buy paint for a while. Oh, these are just great. I feel like I'm getting repetitive now because like all of them are like, oh my gosh, that's so amazing. I'm definitely going to have some favorites here just because of personal preference. Just favorite colors and such. But these are lovely. I'm kind of curious what they look like when you create blooms and such. These are pretty matte. Like as I'm seeing these drying above. Like if you're one of those that you enjoy just a clean layer of color without a lot of blemish in it, these might be your paints. All right, Winsor Green Yellow shade. See, here's an example of a color that by itself it's really pretty, but probably one that I wouldn't use in my normal style of painting. These first three here, I'm sold though. Definitely would use those. All right, Oxide of Chromium. Again, with noises here. If you hear squeaking, that's my chair. Might be time to get a new chair. Actually, it is time to get a new chair. It's got to be on the to-do list. Like the foam on the armrests are breaking apart. I've used this thing so much. Beautiful. All right, Cobalt Green Deep. Okay. And this is the last one before we start getting into the blues. Very pretty. Definitely would use that one. That's gorgeous. Okay. Cobalt. I can talk. Cobalt turquoise. These are fantastic. Now, if you... There's probably two groups of people here. First group are probably the people that have been using Winsor and Newton. How do you like them? What's your favorite color? Like if you had to select like your top 3 Winsor and Newton watercolors, I would love to know what they are. Or if you would recommend something that's not in this current set that I have. And then the other group is probably like you're getting into watercolor or you haven't used this brand before. What are your standout colors from this set? Like, what do you think you might consider? You can let me know in the comments. Let's scoot this over. Last one was kind of cut off a little bit. All right, Winsor green blue shade. Oh gosh, my voice, I'm so sorry. Let's make sure we're getting the right color here. Yeah. I think when I lined these up, I just saw blue shade and put it with the blues. Obviously, this is more green. All right. Manganese? Oh, okay. Yeah, okay, came over there. Manganese blue hue. Oh, this one needs to be re-wet. It's already cracked. I did notice when I was pouring these into the half pans that some of them had separated, the binder had separated. It was only a couple of them. It was very transparent. That would be great for skies. All right, cerulean blue. It's really interesting getting a palette that has all of these convenience colors in it, which I haven't had. Are these, is this granulating a little bit? Interesting. I've been so used to using a limited palette and mixing everything, which I highly recommend, by the way. If you're looking to get into watercolor, you're a little newer, you don't need all the colors. I would recommend actually getting a few. I know it's a little intimidating, but learning your color theory, learning the color wheel, and just experimenting with color to learn how they interact together, highly recommend. You will not regret that. All right, cobalt blue. It's interesting. I feel like these blues and one of the greens here, they're separating out a little bit more, which I don't mind. I like the texture. But if you're one that wants something that's a little more matte, that would be good for you to know. Okay, let's do Winsor blue green shade. Very pretty deep blue. Really like that one. All right, and our last one in this row is Prussian blue. All right, so I'm not sure where it cut off, but apparently my SD card filled up while I was talking about either maybe Winsor blue green shade or Prussian blue, but here you go. You can look at the colors. This is going great, guys. This is just, it's fantastic. It's good to start 2025 like this. It feels about right. All right, let's go to the next row. That's okay. It's all right. You're probably not watching this to listen to me banter anyways. You probably just want to see the paints. Which is totally fine with me. But if you like this, if this is for you, consider liking and subscribing. All right, so let's go ahead. Continuing with our blues, we have Winsor Blue Red Shade. Red Shade. Goodness. Yes, I do talk professionally. My brain's just done. It's okay. I know you understand. And I don't even think I'm gonna edit it out. It's just, I don't mind just being my real, authentic, has trouble speaking on a Saturday self. Sometimes weeks are long, but I am having a fun time with these paints. I hope you're having a good time too. Okay. Not sure. I mean, this is not a whole lot different from some of these other blues. We'll see when it dries. Okay. And we have French Ultramarine. Oh, that's more transparent than the others. Or maybe I just need more paint in there. No, it's a bit more transparent. It's very pretty. All right. Next up we have Indigo. Which I love. Indigo is one of my favorites because I love using it in place of black. That's pretty. This is definitely going to be one of my favorites here. Probably tied closest with, I haven't tried it yet, but Payne's Gray. Love using Payne's Gray. So let's see what it looks like. there's a little more paint still left in there. Oh my goodness. I really like this one. I have another Payne's Gray, but it's a little more blue than this. I'm liking that this one is more on the gray side. Very pretty. All right, Winsor Violet. And these will be interesting because I really don't have purple at all in my collection, but I have some, but they're a little more on the fugitive side. So this one is supposed to be relatively permanent. Very nice. And then Cobalt Violet is rated AA. That's more. Let's get some more on the brush here. It is really transparent. That's interesting. That such a transparent color is rated that high. Let's see if I can get a little more on the brush here. Next up is Permanent Rose. I probably wouldn't use these colors very often. I usually use these as like accents because they really pop. But I like having them around if I need them. Okay. And then we've got Permanent Carmine. Okay, this is one I probably use more. Oh, Kiwi's gonna talk to us. Nap time is over. She's probably just really happy that somebody's in here. I also have 2 cats, so Kiwi stays in here by herself. And usually it isn't a problem for her because I'm in here, I keep her company, but oh, I just realized that Permanent Carmine isn't all the way on the screen for you. I will fix that right now. Okay. And then all the way at the end of the row, I put it by itself so I would know not to use it very often. We have Opera Rose, and the only reason I put it by itself kind of on timeout there is because it's rated B. So it's a little more fugitive, but this is probably the only time I'm going to use this one. It almost looks like a highlighter. I don't say that in a negative way, it's just like, oh wow, that's pretty bright. And if you're just working in your sketchbook or something, And sure, throw in some Opera Rose. Or if you're not looking to sell anything, or you don't, the rating doesn't bother you, have fun with that one. Okay. We're at the last row, guys. I might actually need to move my camera for this a little bit instead of just shifting. No, I think I can just move things. There we go. We've got all these wonderful natural browns, yellows and browns, and grays. Okay. First up is burnt sienna. I've been looking for burnt sienna, and so far I haven't found one that I'm super happy with. Okay. This one might be closer. It's maybe a little more transparent than I would like, but I think that would layer nicely. I'm actually happy with that one. I use burnt sienna like crazy. I go through it very quickly. So having a go-to burnt sienna would be fantastic. We'll see how that dries. All right, brown madder. Ooh, that's pretty. Let's get a little more on the brush and see how deep that can go. I really like that one. There might be too many of these that I really like for it to be transferred into another palette. These might need to just stay by themselves. I really like that color. All right, another one that I go through a ton, yellow ochre. Okay, this one is just kind of more creamy and matte than the other yellow ochres that I have. I have some that are pretty bright. So this one is a more opaque, kind of flat yellow ochre, which is nice to have. Okay, I'm really excited about how my blues up here are drying. Excuse me. All right, let's go with raw sienna. There we go. That has that brightness I was talking about. Lovely. So far, this is pretty fantastic on the bottom row. Brown ochre. Beautiful. Okay. I have no idea how to pronounce the next one. Is it New Gamboge? I feel like it's just like really weird American for me to say New Gamboge. That just sounds wrong. I'm gonna say it's Gamboge. It sounds. You can correct me in the comments, and I will be humbled, and that's okay. All right, let's actually use it. Oh wow, I was not expecting this color. That is a very bright yellow. All right, burnt umber. I use a lot of burnt umber too. All of these neutrals, all of these browns. Use a ton of, you're painting wildlife. Use a lot of it. Okay, it is more on the transparent side. Has a little bit of a glow to it, which is really pretty. All right, I'm gonna move this before we get to raw umber. We're in the home stretch, guys. Okay. Let's do raw umber. It's very light. A little more paint on there. Okay, sepia. Oh, I love how dark that is. Okay. Let's work this just a little bit at the bottom. Loving that one. Okay. Ivory black. I do not have a matte black in my collection right now. The blacks that I do have granulate a lot, which I love, but I do need a matte black. Interesting. Is that black or is that a brown. Did I dip into the wrong? No, I didn't. Interesting. I'm gonna get maybe like a little scratch piece of paper here. Make sure I'm not making a mistake. Nope. Did I just have that sepia? May have been just really concentrated in there. I'm going to try this one more time. So I don't want to mess you guys up. Let me get that brush cleaner. I don't think there was a lot of brown in there, but there was enough for this not to be correct. Or, like, accurate, I guess. Maybe it's just throwing me off. That's right next to the sepia. Maybe my eyes are playing tricks on me. Okay. Nope, that's black. I guess it's more like of a, reminds me more of a charcoal. I think that's what threw me. When I think ivory black, I don't think of like a charcoal type. Like it's a little warmer, you know what I mean? Okay. So now we have, I'm going to assume Terre Verte. It's a warm, kind of greenish gray, it looks like. Oh, that's really pretty. I need to put a little more moisture in there. This one really dried and cracked, like more so than any of the other paints. And that's also very transparent. Let's see if we can get more paint on here. Now this is really light. Like I loaded my brush and it's very, very, very light. It's pretty, but it does annoy me a little bit that when you load your brush, it looks like a wash still. But that's personal preference. All right, here's Davies Gray. Oh goodness, is this the same? Or it's just really... Okay, I loaded it up. Yep, same thing, just very, very light. Or it does not re-wet very well. Okay, I'm really working this on the palette. Let's see. Yeah, it's just very, very transparent. I had to work pretty hard to get that much. And our last one, which will... Let me see if I can get my brush really, really clean here because we have titanium white. I'm kind of interested in how opaque this is. Alright, well, that is very white. It's like I'm not painting anything. Let me get... No, we'll just use this. Okay, I have a past painting, I'll just... Oh, and it's got some hole punches on there. Let's just paint over this a little bit and see. Oh, that's very opaque. So yeah, that'll probably give you a little more indication. That's nice to have. I've needed a nice opaque white. Okay. We are all set. I will zoom out and let you guys see all of these colors all together, and most of them are dry. Here we go. All right, so here they are, all of our Winsor and Newton colors together. I hope this is helpful for you, or at least kept you company. And again, if you like my content, please feel free to subscribe and like and share. That also helps too. I'm trying to grow my channel. And thank you guys for joining me. Say hi in the comments. I like getting to know you. And links to things will be in the description. I'll get that together for you. And if I'm able to get this PDF onto my my website, I'll probably do a short or something like that, and then also add the link onto this video later. But thank you guys again for being here, and I'll see you in a later video. All right, bye-bye.